Hey guys, welcome again to another video of this series. Today we will be setting up our combos, adding a condition for our sprint attack, and as well we will be adding some custom directional attacks. In this one we will be using Anima chooser. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we need to add our combat stance. My goal is, for this example, is once I enter the lock-on range, I want to switch to combat stance, and when I'm out, I want to go into the relaxing pose or idle. To do this, we will go to our Anima blueprint, and since we are using the lock-on for this, we need to completely remove this unless you want to use the weapon state if you have different weapons. But for this example, we will call the lock-on component, and from this we're gonna get is lock on. And to prevent some errors when the game starts, you just want to validate the components. Usually the first couple frames you get that error first, and we want to promote this to a variable, and now we can get rid of this. Alright, so the next step is we're going to go to the Anima graph, and now that we have access to our variable, I'm just cleaning this since we don't need it. We don't need initiate this one here, and we can get our lock-on variable. We can change the blend time to 0.35 for false, and quickly we want much faster, we want to blend into the combat pose. So the combat idle will be this, relax is the default gasp. Can clean up more, and here we have layer blend per bone, and usually we're blending from the spine, so we can play this animation on the upper body while we keep in the lower body as default. So I want to move around while I'm in combat stance. So I'm gonna just change some variables here, and I want the blend weight between the two poses to capture more of the upper body, so I'm gonna increase it to 0.7. 1, that means it's 1-to-1, like 100%. 0.7 is a little bit blending the two. And we need to change the idle pose, so we'll go animation, idle base, and set the new idle. Make sure it's looping. Now let's give it a try. So if we enter the range, we are locked, and if we're not, it's giving me error. Standard blend. Let's go. There you go. As you can see, now we are relaxed and we are in combat. If we equip our gloves, you can see we are a nice combat stance. Perfect. So the first thing is done. Now we can get into business. Let's set up some combos. I already have some montages prepped. I will do the first two to explain to you the steps. So first thing, we need to go to our weapon state, go to unarmed state, and their combat setup, combo data, and now here you have the choice to use buffer combos or chained combos. I like chained combo because it's very simple. So we go to the chained combo attacks. We'll be using just ground, and we have 4 montages, meaning the combo max is 3, that include the 0. So now as you can see, we have 0, 1, 2, 3. That's 4 indexes. Each will have its own montage. So light attack and heavy attack. Light will be punches, heavy will be kicks, as I said. Let's go to this jab. This jab, it's starting from an idle and it finish an idle. Usually with combos, especially on the second attack, let's go to this right hook. Usually it will start from where the last combo end, and that's where you split the combos. But for here, we're also starting from an idle, finishing with an idle. All the attacks here, they are the same. So I'm going to show you how we tweak them to blend properly. All right, so we're going to start with the jab. So the first attack will be a jab. The second light attack will be a right hook. And then the third attack will be a hook to the body right here. And the last one will be a more flare up punch, which is the back fist. All right, so next step is we're gonna work on the montages. First thing we want to do is play with our blends. Blends out time, I'm gonna change it to cubic, and the start time for this one is fine. This is the first attack. Not much going on here unless you want to, but the main thing is you want to have your notify set up. So what we'll do here is we're gonna tell the system basically what are we doing during this montage. So from the start all the way to this, when the punch is landed, before it starts retracting, I want to say, hey, I'm attacking right now, and you set the action state. Then for the combo to check, or basically it's a combo window, is right when he start recovering. So before he completely go to idle, that's where you want to set your combo end for the chain. So we're gonna just call montage notify. This notify will be sent to the system and be like, okay, if the player pressed anything after this, just reset the combo. But if the player pressed anything from here to here, we're gonna go to the next attack. If the player press anything from here to here, we're gonna reset the combo. All right, so this is the first one is done. Now we can do the second attack the same way, and we're gonna go action. Before we do the notify, sorry, I want to talk about the blend time. So the second attack, it needs to blend quickly, otherwise you're gonna chew from whatever you have here. So this is 0.25, so that's how much time you're gonna take from this montage. So all this anticipation, it went into the blend time, so you're not gonna see it, it's gonna be gone. So you want literally to blend in quickly so you can capture some of this anticipation. The other thing is, since this one is starting from idle, I don't want my attack to start from there, so I'm gonna start it probably at 0, 1, and then now we can capture this, start from here, blend another, let's do 0.5. So right here, now we can capture this moment here, this motion, and then we can go. So next, now we need to set up our action state, and right when it lands, I want to stop this, say that I'm attacking, and then before we go to idle, I want to say call montage notify, and the blend will change it to cubic. Let's give it a try, and I want to show you something that you might experience with your animation in Gasp. So the montage is playing, but the legs, you can see we have some weird results, and that is due to the IK node on the Anima blueprints. A quick fix for it, you need to go to curves, add a curve, and I have copy feet rotation. It's actually copying the location as well. And what we need to do is we need to change this from 0 to 1. So we're gonna apply, and the first frame we're gonna start, we want to start the whole animation at 1, and then we want to go to 0 after. This is basically it's copying the rotation and location of the feet and applying them to the IK foot L and IK foot R. So now it's much better, and if we play our full combo, as you can see, everything is working fine. And I already did the kicks as well. So we have 4 punches and 3 kicks. Now let's save this and add our sprint attack. To do this, we're gonna have to go to the parent character, and what we need is to get our sprint variable, and it's under character input, and it should be the struct split, and here you can see want to sprint. We just need to go if. So if we are sprinting, we want to play our sprint attack, and if we're not, we might have to make this a little bit bigger. And I'm gonna do this to show you the error that you might come upon and how to fix it. So now we have our play montage events, and now we just need to set our sprint attack. So we can go to punches, command punch, and set it up here. And if we play sprint, as you can see, but we can spam it. As you can see, we can spam the sprint. To prevent that, all you need to do is you need to grab our action state enum, and we just want to trigger it if we're not doing anything. So if we're not doing any of these actions, then we can play our sprint attack. So now if we play and test, sorry, there you go. Even if I press, you have to wait till, as you can see, and my stamina is out. Alright, so we're gonna do the same thing for the kick. And we're gonna change our kick attack to this. So recap for the heavy attack. When we press our heavy attack, we check if we're sprinting. If we're not doing any action, we play our sprint kick. If we're not sprinting, we're gonna go to our kicks combos. So let's test our kick, sprint kick, as you can see, and then we can punch, we can mix our kicks with everything. Perfect. Let's add our directional attacks, this is the fun part. So what we need to do is we can add it into our animation. Let's go animation, and let's add a chooser and go to miscellaneous, generic, and here we want to choose Anima montage. So Anima montage. So this is basically the type that we want to use, and for the parameters we want a class parameter and character. It's CB, this one, and it's an input. So the input is this guy, the output will be our Anima montage. So create, and we can say directional attacks chooser. The next step is we want to evaluate this chooser. To do so, we're going to go to our blueprint character, and I need to make some room here. It's going to get messy. Let's remove that. And what we need to do is we want to call evaluate chooser, and here we want to set our directional chooser. As you can see, we have an input and an output. For the input, it's our character, so self, and for the result, it's our Anima montage. So we can copy this and put it just like this. We'll clean up this after. All right, so now the plan is this. If the player is facing the enemy, we want to go straight to our finishers or combos. But if we are not facing the enemy, we want to use the chooser to pick the right attack based on the angle. We're gonna get actor location, and we want to get the lock on, and we want to get the target actor, validate this guy. So if the target is available, then what we want is get the location, and we want find look at rotation, and we want get actor rotation, and we want to do a delta between the two rotation. This will give us the angle that we want. So let's go like this, and this is better to be under a function, but we'll clean up this after. Let's go here. So if it's valid, we want to proceed to this. Well, actually, I need to promote this. And we're gonna call it target angle. And like that. So it's getting messy. Let's move this down. Let's move this down. Okay. Okay. So what we did so far, I'll explain it. When we press the light attack, we check if we are locked on an enemy. If we are, we calculate the target angle, which gonna tell us if the enemy is on our left, right, or front, or back. If we are in front, if the enemy is in front of us, we want to play our combos. And if the enemy is on our side or behind us, we want the chooser to pick our directional attacks. So this angle, I have here our circle, our helper. So 0 is spot on in front of us, so we can go from 45 to from negative 45 to 45. If our target angle in this range, that means the enemy is in front of us. So we can go now into our character and look for in range, float, and we can say if this value minimum is negative 45, 45, we want to play our combos. If not, we're gonna let the chooser pick left, right, or back and play our montage. So now we can go to our directional attack chooser, and we can add float in range, and we can bind it to our target angle. And here we can add our Anima montages. So we're gonna need 4. And let's go to our animation, directional punches for light. So we're gonna start with right, and then left, and then back, and then another back. Alright, so now we can go to our magic circle here, and the reason why we have 2 montages for the back, if we go from negative 135 all the way to 135, we're going to be capturing all these angles. That's why we're going to break it into 2, and we're going to go from 135 to 180, and then from negative 180 to 135. Alright, so we're not touching the front, it's only the left and the right. So the left is from 45 to 135. So we can go back here. This is the left elbow. So from 45 to 135. And then for the right, it's gonna be from negative 135 to 45. 135 to negative 45. And for the back, we will be doing 135 to 180. 180. And then negative 180 to negative 135. The next step is to set up our montages. Let's go to each one of them. We're gonna have to do the same, get action state, and see where it's right there. Attacking, again the curve, copy feet, add a key here, add a key at the end, and the first one, set it to 1. We gotta do the same. Action state, and right there, attacking, add curve, copy feet, add key, add key. Same thing for the last one. Second. All right, I think we are ready to test this. So if the target is in front of us, we want to be able to do our combos. If we're on the right, it's a right spin, I think, yeah. And if it's on the left, it's an elbow. And if we are completely in front the target, it's also a back spin. Yeah. Yeah. So the right is a spin, a fist spin, and also this is a fist. So I'm gonna change the right to a different attack later on, but our anim chooser is working, which is great. So this is it for this video. The next one, we will be adding our auto rotate to target, and also we'll be excuse me, we'll be adding some camera movement and some additional visual just to make it look more appealing and satisfying. All right, thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next one.